What's up, YouTube coin and gun enthusiasts? I know my channel focuses mainly on coins, but I also have a love for historical firearms and the Second Amendment, as long as it's done safely and legally. So I have a love for antique firearms, and I know this isn't an antique, but we're going to talk about the Colt M45A1 today. All right, specifically the United States Marine Corps' version of the Colt M45A1. Before we get started, anytime we're around weapons, we always remember the 4 weapons safety rules. Treat, never, keep, keep. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Keep the weapon on safe until you tend to fire. You follow those and you will never have a negligent discharge. There is no such thing as an accidental discharge. Second, we're going to clear the weapon. Make sure it's clear so we're all safe and whatnot. Now, the first feature I'm going to talk about is this ambidextrous safety right here. Just engaged it. That means that this weapon could be carried cocked and locked and not fire because the ambidextrous safety is on. All right. With that, you could drop this thing and it will not engage the firing pin because the ambidextrous safety solely removes the firing pin from being engaged, no matter if it's dropped or kicked or whatever. So let's talk about the M45A1. This is Colt's modern day version of the 1911 platform, and it's their modern day fighting version of the 1911. Now, those of you that know a little bit about Marine Corps lore and history, you know the Marine Corps loves the 1911 platform. They're all about their customs and traditions, and sometimes they don't give it up too easily. So what we have is the Colt M45A1 was produced for the Corps to make a modern day combat gunfighting weapon that was accurate, durable, and the Marine Corps used this for about 2 years. And you can see right here it says Colt, then it has 3 stars, and then it has the USMC, but the USMC is X'd out. That's because this was decommissioned. So the Marine Corps tried this out for a couple years. They loved it, but they didn't love it enough, and so they sent them all back to Colt. And what Colt did was, like any private industry business, they just decommissioned them and sold them on the civilian market. Basically, what you have to here is you have a serial number. And this serial number is 02280EGA. Now, Colt did make an M45A1 civilian version, and it will not have the EGA after the serial number. Does anybody know what the EGA stands for? Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. Exactly, Marine Corps. They wanted to make this thing unique to the Corps. What they did was they expanded the backlash right here so that when you're firing the weapon, it prevented more blistering and bleeding. They got the commander-style hammer. They've got the 1913 rail system that can attach a tactical light, so you can have light if you need it. It's got the Novak sight system with the Trigicon low dots for low light shooting. You've got the ambidextrous safety, like I said, which can be engaged with either side. And once it's disengaged, you can fire the weapon. Comes with a 7-round capacity magazine, and this finish here was specifically for the Corps, but they didn't get that right the first time. They had to redo it because the finish was coming off and whatnot. The Force Recon Marine that had this weapon put this sandpaper here and glued it so that he had a better grip and hold of the weapon, which is pretty ingenious. And there's the Armory stock number right there that was put on there with a Sharpie. I actually own a few of these. My email is in the description of this video below. So if you're interested in some of these, just shoot me an email. We'll talk about it. If you look on Gunbroker, the price of these weapons are anywhere from $3,000 to $22,000. Gunbroker is basically the eBay for weapons. My heart is there's a special place in my heart for the 1911. I've owned some World War One, World War Two 1911s. I own some modern day 1911s for match shooting. To me, the 1911 is just an amazing platform. The reason the Marine Corps went away from this is because you do have weapons out there like the SIG P226 or the H&K or the Glock 19 that are smaller and lighter in platform, but have a higher magazine or round capacity, and they're just as accurate. So that's why the Marine Corps went away from this particular platform. Again, it's kind of interesting how it says Colt, and then it's got the 3 stars. That 3 stars, Lieutenant General Keyes left the Marine Corps as Lieutenant General, which is 3 stars, and then it has USMC. And some people say that Colt kind of put that 3 stars on there because of Lieutenant General Keyes. But anyways, that's the Colt M45A1. I'd love to hear your comments in the below. Look, I don't pretend to know everything about weapons and firearms. So if you want to have a rational discussion and we can learn from each other, I'm all about it. So drop a comment below. And if you are interested in acquiring one of these, my email's below as well. I can help you out as far as pointing you in the right direction. Hope you enjoyed this. I love the M45A1. It's a great fighting weapon. It's the one that I take to the range all the time just to shoot some rounds, and it sits next to my bed at night when it's not being used. Alright guys, have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and much love and respect to you and your families.